confidence plays a massive role in our lives as men, especially men, because we are considered to be the go-getters in life, right? The breadwinners, the guys who go out and do things, the hunters, the ones who bring the goods back home. Okay, this is in our DNA, all the way from the days of cavemen, our ancestors. And so naturally we are inclined to go out and do things, to be productive, once again, to be the go-getters. Now, it's a given in this day and age that if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to be confident. And when we talk about confidence, we are talking about the ability to have conversations with other human beings, whether you know them or not. The ability to hold yourself in a manner which shows self-respect, discipline, masculine energy. There are many forms of confidence that we can talk about, we can discuss, but in all honesty, everyone who is confident in some way, shape or form has had to do some kind of work to get to that position. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that not everybody is born with natural confidence. There are some people who manage to find confidence easier than other people. However, that doesn't mean that they haven't had to put in work to get to where they need to get to. Now, I consider myself to be a fairly confident individual. However, I have had times in my life where I have suffered from social anxiety, where my confidence has been low. And looking back at it now, I realize that my confidence was at its lowest. And I mean really, really, really low when I was addicted to pornography and masturbation. And a lie that I used to tell myself was that everything was okay, that what I was doing was fine and there would be no repercussions, and I could continue down the cycle of watching pornography and masturbating, and that nothing would ever come of it, and that I would just be my normal self and I could go and live my normal life. However, I realized that isn't the case at all. I'm on day 10 of my 30 days of NoFap challenge that I said I would record for many of you guys to check into my videos to perhaps gain some help and advice on your NoFap journeys. And I can confidently say, no pun intended, that I can feel the difference between the first 2 or 3 days after I relapsed to now. I'm feeling a lot more confident. And I know this because I was in social settings today where I could hold a conversation, I could ask good questions, and I was feeling happy. I was feeling good about myself. I wasn't shy. There were no feelings of anxiety. There were no feelings of guilt and shame. Perhaps feelings that you would have just after watching pornography and masturbating, right? And this is in social settings with both men and women. Now, another thing you might notice on your NoFap journey is your confidence around women. You see, what happens when you're watching pornography and masturbating is you're simply disrespecting the divine feminine energy. You're disrespecting the value of women, right? Because you're viewing women as sexual beings rather than perhaps sisters or friends or mothers. And so what pornography is going to do is change your perspective and change the way you see the world. And the dangerous thing about this is you're not going to realize that it's happening. You'll probably do what I did and tell yourself that everything is okay. There's going to be no repercussions of what you're doing, when in reality there is. They're just silent but deadly. Now, how do you check that your confidence is increasing? Or how do you test your confidence when you are on this NoFap journey? Look, get yourself in a position where you are able to analyze yourself in social situations. So what I'm telling you to do is experiment, right? If you've just relapsed on NoFap, go and try have a conversation with a stranger and see how that works for you, right? And then maybe give it 10 or 15 to 20 days on NoFap and then try the same thing again. See how your confidence changes. See how your mood changes. See how the way you hold yourself in that conversation or social setting changes. The amazing thing about NoFap is that the benefits are just extremely real. They are there, they are present. I can't stress enough that NoFap is going to have an effect on your life in a positive way, especially if you're somebody who has been suffering from an addiction to pornography and masturbation for a long time. Now, you have to realize or recognize that first of all, the pornography and masturbation is detrimental and that it's going to have a negative impact in the long run. Once you realize and know this, you will never ever want to go back to pornography and masturbation again. And the beautiful thing about NoFap and semen retention and challenging yourself to break free from these bad habits is you can actually watch and feel and see yourself change as time goes on. So if you are fortunate enough, or if you are disciplined enough to actually go through to 30 days of NoFap, 60 days of NoFap, 90 days, and eventually 365, what I can tell you and what I can vouch for is that it's going to be a beautiful process. You're going to feel yourself change. You're going to watch yourself evolve. And as men, there is no better feeling than seeing yourself grow, seeing yourself change, seeing yourself adapt as an individual, right? And an example I can give you is when you go to the gym and you work out and you see physical changes in your body, you see your mental mood change. These positive changes really give you even more confidence, right? So really, if you're addicted to pornography and masturbation, and I've mentioned this before, you should see it as a blessing, because what you have now is an opportunity to change your life around. But not only change your life around, you can actually watch and feel yourself change. You are the one that's going to go through that process. It's not going to be easy, okay? You're gonna have to force yourself to be disciplined. You're gonna have to force yourself to do the things that you don't wanna do. Getting rid of the urges that you might have to watch pornography and masturbate. All of this is difficult. However, if you manage to get through it on a day-to-day basis, once again, the process is going to be beautiful. And I can vouch for it because I have been through this process. And that's why I'm sharing what I'm sharing today. Now, once again, I'm on day number 10 of my NoFap challenge. And I've noticed a big difference in my confidence from the first 2 or 3 days after I relapsed to now. Okay, I feel like a completely different person. My confidence is through the roof, okay? And when I'm in social settings, when I'm talking to people, I feel happy, I feel confident, I feel like I can be myself, hold myself. I feel grounded to the earth, okay? That's another big thing. Again, it might be something to do with science and maybe energy, maybe things that we can't quite perceive with our very own eyes in this reality, but after the first week of NoFap, you're gonna definitely feel yourself grounded to the earth, okay? You're gonna feel held down. Straight after a relapse, you go outside in public, you might feel a bit shy, you might have anxiety, you might be nervous, okay? You might be dwindling about, okay? Your body language is gonna be weak looking, right? But after a couple of days, after the first week of NoFap, after 10 days of NoFap, you feel like a completely different person. You feel rooted to the earth. Okay, you feel like your balls are heavier and they're dragging you down, so you have to walk with masculine energy, right? So yes, NoFap is going to increase your confidence. Semen retention is going to give you energy that you need to hold conversations, start new conversations with strangers, be yourself in social settings, whether that's in school, college, university, parties, at work, in the gym, in your sports team, whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis, NoFap is going to help you. And once again, if you're addicted to pornography and masturbation, consider that as a blessing. Okay, look at the bright side, because now you have an opportunity to elevate. Now you have an opportunity to change yourself. Now you really have an opportunity to watch yourself become a beautiful human being, somebody who has gone through the hardship to get to where they need to get to. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It took me 5 years from the day I discovered NoFap to now to eventually break free from the addiction to pornography and masturbation, to master the concept of NoFap, to go through my day-to-day life without feeling urges to relapse to pornography and masturbation, right? And so understand that it's going to take time. But one thing I can say and vouch for is that those 5 years have been extremely beautiful. Divine Masculine Tantra. I hope to see you on the next video.